Well, Doombros, your map is in the bag now. Gotta ask, do you expect to see a map 3 here?
Hopefully not. I mean, we expect everything. It depends really what their pick is and if we're playing the same or not. So we'll see.
Anything that surprised you here on map 1?
I would say the picks. No Sentinel, playing a Neon, playing the Sova. But we had a lot of scrims against Sovas when coming here, right? So we're kind of used to it. It was a bit closer than I expected, but you know, we're a great team.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
A close clash there that we saw between Team Liquid and Na'Vi that ended up seeing Na'Vi take map 1 on Fracture. Their pick, by the way. Welcome back, everyone. Golden Boy alongside with Mimi and Sean Gares as we break everything down briefly. And yeah, let's just dive right into this one really quickly and talk about what we saw, because it really, to what Doombros was saying, Mimi, like, yeah, there were some wonkiness, some weirdness, right? Get the neon coming in there, right? Things were feeling a little odd, but it did feel as if Na'Vi, they stayed the course, played their game plan, and it worked out. And their game plan was quite bizarre.
Yeah, I think in a game like this, it really is defined by which team makes less mistakes. And Na'Vi, I think in particular in that second half, did a solid job of adapting. Got Zipan back on this comfortable agent. They had these really slow attack side mid rounds, which made Team Liquid feel uncomfortable in ever taking aggressive space, which is normally what this comp is so good for. And well, it was a lot of risks being taken with these late round site executes. Na'Vi, if there's one thing they're strong at, it's closing out those late rounds.
I think they're also strong at having their IGL Omen just feast or famine. He was feasting. He was feasting on the first place. He was 5-2 in first bloods on Omen, on a double controller comp on Fracture. Like that's outrageous. And truthfully, I have to kind of throw a little shade Liquid's way for winning both pistols, winning a bonus, and throwing their economy away with that Sova off round. That was back-breaking to their half. And then the next, I think, gun round, they do an arcade push where the dart doesn't scan 3 players. And that's when Zipan just came into the game.
Yeah, it's those little mistakes like that that just snowball things out of control, and Na'Vi was absolutely taking control of that half. Angel in particular, the way they play on this map, their defense, Zipan is never aggressively taking space. It's always Angel pushing up, taking these risks. But here, like you're saying, he was feasting. He was rewarded. This is one of those games where Angel actually looks brilliant in the aggression, in the risks he takes.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like the game plan is like, all right, Zipan, you're way too valuable, so you stay back and then I will go. Because that's what I would do. You know, honestly, I know that I wouldn't be able, because Zipan was playing immaculately and he was doing such a great job, and it was nice to see him back on that familiar role.
Yeah, he really became activated on the attack side, if I'm being honest. And meanwhile, on the other side, you know, Liquid was struggling to get the operator in play. Yampi in particular, you know, after the amazing first half, couldn't match Zipan's numbers here. Like, look at what he ended as, considering how that first half went and the fact that he got pushed topside on the pistol.
Yeah, and compare this to the rest of the year for Na'Vi, where Zipan has been really being forced to flex around all these different roles. When this team was at their best, when they won Copenhagen, it was when Zipan was playing the race, when they had him on comfortable roles, and when he was playing as good as he is right now. These are the roles that Na'Vi needs to be playing, and the form that they need to be hitting if they want to be a contender.
Yeah, most definitely. And if there's a team that can do it, we've seen them do it before, most definitely is going to be Na'Vi. They'll just have to get over that hurdle. Liquid as well. But earlier on the show, we actually asked you guys for our MasterCard fan poll. Who do you think is going to be walking away the victor today? And, well, 74% of you might be sweating right now because you went for Team Liquid. They're down 0-1.
I mean, that was, I think, the consensus going in. Yeah. Liquid won EMEA. They're the team that should be the favorite in this matchup. But at these global events, it's games like this, Sean, where you're talking about those little mistakes slipping away from them. It was bigger mistakes back at lock-in, but it was rounds like this, that Sova op round, the weird investments, one player going off and doing something wrong. That's what bit them at Tokyo. When you're playing against teams at this level, that cannot be happening if you want to perform consistently internationally.
Yeah, and you hate to say the word, but it does feel like a bit of a choke coming from Liquid. I mean, they had everything they needed to steal that map pick, and if they were to close out Fracture with the 2 pistols, the bonus, I would have them as heavy favorites for the rest of the series. But now, Na'Vi has a breath of fresh air. I mean, they just won their map pick. They have 2 more coming. They look decent on Split at the end of LCQ, run the double duelist, so they're kind of free-rolling here on Bind, if I'm being honest.
I have no idea what to expect for Bind, though. This is the map where Na'Vi's been the craziest. In 6 months, they've played 6 different Bind comps. They keep experimenting with double duelists. They've tried Yoru, they've tried Neon. I mean, yeah, this team, it's like a subscription subscription box. They're getting something new every month. It gets delivered, fresh idea. And the question is, with so limited practice since LCQ, which one of those comps are they going to stick to? Because I don't feel like any of them were like, okay, this is the thing Na'Vi should be running.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like the last version. I think the last version was the KO Angel, which he's taking a lot of challenges on the KO. Like if you imagine Omen times 10 for Angel. Like
yeah, well, because he's got the utility. Maybe he could just go and do some stuff, right? Actually get into the sites without just, you know, magically making himself disappear and then reappear as his only means of entry. But you gotta love the, you know, really just the attitude, the way that this Na'Vi team plays. And Team Liquid is certainly going to have their hands full as we get ready for map 2. Thankfully, we have Coach Emil standing by to get his thoughts as we get ready for Bind.
Well, Emil, we've got Bind coming up next. Back to Comfort. Anything crazy planned for us there?
I think you're gonna see us going back to our roots from last year. So hopefully it's gonna be something good.
Okay, I look forward to it. And what are the changes then from this map onto Bind?
Not a lot strategically. We just need to hit our shots. That's it. Like, that's literally it.
A close map. Best of luck in the next one. Thank you.
Now, obviously, when you come out of these coaches' interviews, there's always going to be, you know, like, oh, we just have to hit our shots. But it genuinely does feel like, maybe in Liquid's case, Sean, if they do,
I think so.
it should be enough.
I mean, also Liquid were put on a little bit of awkward roles. It looked good in the first half where they had the structure, they had the set plays, but you could see once they switched halves and Safe was on that breach and Yampi was on the Neon, they couldn't get it clicking on the defensive half. The op was never really in play. This is more of home territory for him, but wow, we actually have a Neon on the other side now and Yampi on the Chamber of all things. Let's go.
Sign me up.
Mimi, you know I love Chamber.
Yeah, this guy is a fan of it. And in the Prime Game Agents, like a lot of surprises here. For Na'Vi, this is going back to that Neon comp, which I never really loved. I feel like it's harder to get value with the proactivity of that Neon. But you can do a lot with the relay bolts, with the stuns, combining that with a nade, something to that effect. But Team Liquid, I think this is a bit more of a surprise. Chamber has gotten a lot of play as of late on Bind, and there's so many spots with the TP that can work well here. You can get on top of truck, you can swing out a hookah, you can fight for either extremity really well on either side of the map. I actually think this is his best map.
I agree. I think you're gonna see a lot of Chamber lurks towards Shower. You can see Chambers working up short A with a TP to go back into market on this opening attack half. You could see him work up long B or into hookah so that way he can disengage on those fights. And it's gonna be very difficult for these double duelists to punish the Chamber, actually. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is going to be exciting to see how it all unfolds. But let's go ahead and send it back over to Brennan Sideshow to guide us through Bind.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I mean, who knows what to expect with this one? This is, listen, we were assuming the Giants Na'Vi Grand Finals of EMEA, right? In the last chance qualifier. There's a little bit of a troll, you know, the Grand Finals. Both teams made it to champs. Maybe the comps were a little bit, you know, a little bit whimsical. But then Na'Vi go ahead and they just run it anyway.
Yeah, just run it back, I guess. I mean, pulling CNET out. By the way, they lost in the Grand Finals to Giants of LCQ with Cloud playing Yoru while they were running this comp. Now, I don't know whether the effort they were putting into the game is equivalent to what they're going to be bringing here, whether the ideas are equivalent, but they're running the same composition. And on the other side, you've got Yampi playing Chamber. So, all right, let's get things started then. I want to bring your attention as well to the fact that Safe has a Sheriff. No boombot, no satchels, just damage instantly onto Sugetsu.
The utility's optional. Here we go, Snakebite to try and stop this one. I mean, already that exchange of damage.
I didn't even realize Zipan's got a Sheriff on the other side as well. Both of the Raze players just bringing the Sheriff on the pistol.
It's, yeah. Room for a silly game, I think. Room for a silly game. Get ready.
That's what I was hoping for from Group D.
Yeah, just silliness. Here we go. It's very slow, but well, they get themselves up onto those angles and only one opportunity granted to Safe. He's quick to capitalize. Here's a nade into elbow, flash into the back, it clears. A lot of that space gives them peace of mind, but they second guess themselves. In through the TP, all that space being gathered. Nats catches the lurk and the rotations, because guess what? It was Yampi gaining all that space through showers while all that was happening.
He's going to be pushed up. New bind makes it easier to clear this position.
Oh, he needs some help though.
Goes 1 for 1.
No trade in sight there, Angel. Still alive and kicking, isn't he?
But only with a classic.
It's a 2v4, gains the upgrade. One smoke left. Can remove one of the angles. Trying to follow the traces. Landing a few shots here. We'll need Real miracle chance here, doubled up into lamps, and yet from behind the timing, unfortunate for him, but all really just laid out here for Team Liquid to take this pistol round. To get to, so much to do, not enough time. Almost with the shots, decent effort.
And Team Liquid pick up the 3rd out of 3 pistol rounds in this series. They've got to be kicking themselves for the way the Fracture went, being in a position to win the game. But they've started out on the right foot to right their wrongs here. I'm so intrigued as to how this Na'Vi composition is going to function on the defense side.
There'll be fumes coming out of your head by the end of the map.
Yeah, well, already we saw CNET going for the push through the teleporter, right? And Nats took him down execution style, just pushed up real deep on sand. So that's something that CNET's going to have to be wary of in the future. Wouldn't be surprised to see Angel just taking fights constantly over towards Showers too, knowing him.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. Plenty of firepower on either side, though. Flash actually landed top into the corner, and as the recall star was dropped down, it opened up the sideline.
Just as the pistol round opened, this round the other way. Both raises taking those duels, Sheriff in hand, Zipan wins this time. Na'Vi have 4 players over towards B. They're going to try and re-explore B long and make sure that Team Liquid are not grouped up over towards there. Liquid would love to try and respond reactively into A off the back of that, but they can't. Not grouped up, no spike in hand. Yampi just continues to take Showers control slowly as Angel hoovers up the ultimate orbs around the map.
Seen it though, look at him. Left to right, doesn't know which way to look. And Yampi...
This is like a Sheriff-only game.
I know, it certainly feels like it.
There it is again.
Towards the back of the site, and yet back up from the rest of his team. Shots sailing through into the back of the A site. That'll be open area for them to be able to plant, so only up to Sugetsu. At this point, it's wrapped up. Should be a very flourishing bonus round in the next for Team Liquid.
Yeah, one where they'll have tons of things online. I mean, especially if Yampi goes in hunts right now, there's a possibility that he might even be able to get a tour de force active.
Yeah, he should be the one hunting.
And Na'Vi, with Sugetsu alive, command still quite a bit of respect. You know, Sugetsu was popping heads in the previous with only the Sheriff that he'd managed to scavenge. And Team Liquid playing with a lot of that discipline that they said they were trying to bring into Champions here.
Yeah.
Oh, and the grab well.
Locking him in place, vulnerable up. I'm thinking with this one, Yampi hits it.
So that's great. A really big ultimate to start building up towards. And Yampi's put a serious focus on taking Showers control. It might not be at the very start of the round, but that's certainly the area of the map that he's going to be contesting. I think you should anticipate fights happening around that area. Na'Vi have players that are going to love to try and contest early. We've seen Zipan fighting over towards B. Sinez on Neon, he's got to want to take early engagements. And Angel, you couldn't keep him out of a first duel.
He throws himself in willingly. Yeah.
Now, Yampi's not buying a weapon here, which is really bizarre, and neither's Redgar.
Yeah, saving fully, really. I mean, that's so much money in the bank. I'm not too sure what the game plan is. Maybe attack side operator.
I think Sugetsu just headbutted that Viper orb to try and deny Nats' setup.
Toxin screen down.
Counterplays on counterplays here, and yeah, it looks like it. It's a bit too deep down into the choke. Deep flash, smoke, instantly placed down. That orb does allow Sugetsu to just hold this position. And yeah, towards the back there. Rattling off the share of shots, not favored for it.
Zipan so far looking like he's crispy, apart from the first death that he got in round 1. Otherwise, he's been good for it. Aim's on point. Form not an issue.
Team Liquid feeling a tad lost in this one. I mean, 40 seconds remaining. They don't really have any semblance of map control. Only now starting to clear towards it. And guess what? Angel's here. Slide off angle. Lovely movement from Soulcast, though. He responds. That is the trade.
Shah needs help. Zepan's going to be booking his way over as quickly as he can.
He does towards the back, but he's given plenty of timing. There was a large window there. Only the Trailblazer. No one pushing up off of this. It's only the players, and he's timing it. Hooked his way around into the center of the tube, and that's running forwards there. Up and over. Zipan, not aware of it. Dropping down now. That's the plan. It wasn't covered. And well, I'll put a stop to it, won't it?
Great play by Na'Vi. Excellent work there by Xiao. Just moving his way around the box. Dodging the Trailblazer from the other side. And take a look at this opener from Zipan too. Oh, just catches Yampi as he was trying to escape. And all of those opening kills go in the way of Na'Vi. Secures them a nice advantage. So, 2 players didn't buy in that round from Team Liquid on their bonus, where they could have, in theory, because they had like 5,400 credits, something like that. So you know that they're saving up for an operator. Yampi picks it up. He's one away from having Tour de Force online anyway, but he wants to try and fight this down short. The real battle for map control, though, we're watching here at Showers.
Scurrying all the way forwards, using the util to make sure they can set themselves up onto that line.
It looks a
Na'Vi
little
having to give it up.
From Na'Vi here, actually.
Yeah, they are really grouped and now just, again, guessing.
Yeah, 3 players just on top of each other in backside A. No map control at all, and they're just trying to play full A retake.
What sound cues are they going off? I mean, there was a couple of recalled stars over towards B, and they're leaving it.
They know there's nobody down B long. I mean, this is a gamble and a half to think that it would be a full 5-person B hit through Hookah.
Another flash committed as well on the other side of the map. That should give them, again, no indicator, no sound cues. So they choose to commit elsewhere. So Getsu finally catching the shoulder of Safe.
This is so much responsibility and pressure to put on Getsu's shoulders.
But he's out of there. Gives it up, doesn't play towards the back of the site.
It's a bizarre round, but they have both duelists flanking through Market. It's a weird way of playing the defensive side of Bind, because you're going to be running into these trademarks more often than not.
30 seconds left.
Yampi's got one positioned at Market.
There it is.
How do you get past that?
No chance. Have to break it, but they're waiting to see if somebody will just walk into that sight line. It gets triggered. Nats now aware. Repositions all towards the back here. Orbital strike clearing out Lamp. Stun is clean, but here it is. Util flying backwards and forwards. Yampi got close to the corner here, and it's all up to Nats. He's playing his lineups. His whole team has just fell down. Not a chance of holding it. Pushed off the defuse though, but half gained onto it. Maybe a chance, a possibility. 56 health left. No, the faces there with confidence. And the rifles, it's all done. Evened up now to 2-2.
I certainly had doubts about the way that Na'Vi was playing the defensive side there, but the retake was sublime. Angel found a spot to be able to use his Brim ult, and they supported the double duelist coming through short exactly as the rest of the team were retaking back through, you know, Spawn and Heaven. The coordination on this was exemplary. A Red Guard taken down in a spot where nobody was able to really support him, and Yampi's operator is just way out of position, stuck in on site there. Doesn't have the maneuverability that he would if he had a rifle in hand. Yampi's going to have a tour de force online this time.
Hunt up from the previous rounds.
It feels like a premium is being put on the attacking side for Team Liquid of Showers control. They want this area of the map. Now CNED with the Opping Neon on Bind, I think is just going to be running between his current position and Heaven, depending on what he hears around the map.
So strange, isn't it? Trailblazer, that was used towards B long as well, cleared it out and did spot Safe. He's holding there, earned his showstopper up. It feels like Team Liquid are setting up for potentially a bursty play.
With Red Guard being an extremely late lurk kind of option.
So
Red Guard, though,
open angles.
he still doesn't have any stars available for this.
Getsu is close to the corner, damage done through the box, and this is it, the off angle to Getsu. Of course he doesn't. No shying away from that fight. Spots the legs, damage done even more so. Backing away, almost the kill. Zipan all the way through the back as well. Reinforcements have arrived. And 3 players left standing here for Team Liquid. It's a bizarre approach to the attack side.
It's a mess of a round, really is. But they're going to try and end towards B. Angel's got this.
Yeah, I mean
Yampi with the tour de force is waiting for somebody to come back through the teleporter towards him and falls straight into Angel's hands.
It's the backstab. Spike is nowhere. Red Guard is in elbow.
What am I watching?
It's just all over the place. And it feels a little... I mean,
EMEA Bind at its finest.
It's not defined, is it? It's not focused on the attack side.
It certainly isn't. I mean, Yampi's looking for an opening pick. And when he's not rewarded with one of those, Team Liquid didn't have a plan B to fall back towards. Tried to go into an exec, but were waiting for so long for Red Guard to get his stars back online. He recalled them, and they were waiting. There was only 30 seconds left. And by that point, they'd already lost Nats, who was going for a lurk play. they're confused as to what the plan B is if the plan A of Yampi go kill doesn't work. And making things a bit too easy here for Na'Vi. Liquid are going to take a timeout. Presumably, this is for Emil to address the philosophy issues with how they're approaching the attack.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even when committing there, surely, you know, you want to be grouping up, not having Redgar over towards B and sending the showstopper in. Looks messy.
I'm just working out as well. They should have money to buy, Team Liquid that is. Taking his time out. They have a big ult in the back pocket, which is safe. Picked up the showstopper in one of those prior rounds. Big tools to use. You could cook something up, maybe a bit of a pace increase, but it really does feel like the composition as well that they are playing. It doesn't really suit, you know, big bursty plays. It's not like they're running perhaps like a Brimstone or something where you can just immediately prop down the smokes. And you're running a chamber as well. I mean, they're quite
I think there are still options though to go for burst plays. Sure, it's not a double duelist composition, but you know, if you're able to combo your utility with like a snakebite over towards B long, a dog to be able to get up there, take some hookah control with the boombot, and then you get into a B exec within the first 30 seconds, that's going to put a lot of pressure on CNED, who you know is opping on Neon. Fast hits here and forcing CNED to have to retake with that tool, I think is a potential win condition for Liquid. But they are all grouped up on A right now.
Yeah, it could be part of the plan. Trailblazer now makes his way forwards. So what are setups? And here's the showstopper. Yeah, they want to burst forwards all the way into the site. Not really catching anyone. How do you take that fight? Still, it's traded and brought down. No value from the showstopper. 4 versus 4 with the pit in play. Trailblazer, it's fast from Na'Vi. They want to try and flood into this one and prevent it from even going down in the first place, but they fail at that. Still cleaning up. Angel, where does he pull it from, man? I do not know, but Yampi's dealt with, and now they've cleared out showers.
All of these 3 players really grouped up. Any kind of spray that's aimed at one of them could easily catch 2 or 3.
It comes down to it, doesn't it? Will the rifles connect? Retaking into it with the operator, never ideal as well. CNED's using himself as bait, running forwards. Angel, he's already cleaned him up. 3 in a round 4, make it 4. You cannot make this up, man. You just cannot make it up.
Angel is feasting out here on Liquid.
But, I mean, the absolute chokehold that Angel has on his team to say, CNED, I know you're our star player, lad, but listen, get in there. Get in there. Start making some distractions. Start hopping around for me.
It's the perfect play to make, it really is. I mean, the wide swing on Yampi, who's opping as well. You know, Yampi's not in the best position to deal with a player that swings that close, but Angel's just on fire currently.
And it was briefly discussed, you know, you just never know what kind of form players like Angel, like Redgar on the opposing side are going to come into these events.
No, you simply don't. They are such high-risk, high-reward players that when they're hitting, when they're having a game, they just can be the X factor that wins their team a series. I mean, again, think back to what Angel was saying about winning champions. He said it's just about being good here right now at this day, at this week. It's all about form, baby.
That's it. That's all that matters. An attempt there to punish the jump spot. Good flash. Angel blinded though. I believe that was a team flash. Still just peppering them from a side. The shot misses. CNED ducking away.
Good movement though.
Yeah.
To be able to get away from that was dangerous for a moment there. Yampi's only got 3 more bullets.
Can't give him many more chances though.
Well, he's got 1 left.
Yeah. Angel's taken up the space once more. He's cleared out Hookah. Going to be giving a call to his team, and Sugetsu now, whether this push could be coming through. That's why the snakebite was layered down. Cosmic Divide at his back. Trailblazer onto the one side. Satchel through and across into the orb, but you have to give up that space. Now there's a nade. And attempted to deny this plan here. Time is running so damn short. They're just running right into them. Zipan, showstoppers there. 20 seconds left. Cosmic Divide obfuscating, hiding. All cues. That's a 2-piece. Nats though from behind. An instant response with the overdrive. He can't quite hit it. It's all CNED. The 1-2 punch from those star players. They absolutely collapse on him.
In the meantime, Angel's firing a molly onto the default plant spot, trying to make sure that the time works against them with 10 seconds left. It's scrappy. Team Liquid had a chance there, though. They set Nats up in a position to make magic happen. Again, with Ghost in hand, picking it up, upgrading to a Vandal. I think this is one of their best options to win here on Bind is to try and put Nats in a position to win. And whether that's creating distractions for him to lurk down short or using a lot of utility to push him into lamps. In the meantime, though, CNED taking his op for a walk. He runs
already
straight
began.
into Yampy.
He's ran straight into him with the op sight line. Brought him down into a 4v5. Proactive is the call here. Flash play out the smoke. Xiao's holding it. Angel close.
Angel, Redgar, staring at each other.
Sees it. Oh, Redgar doesn't win it!
I mean, again, Angel is just on fire today.
You can't stop him.
And things quiet back down. A pit used as things get to the minute mark here. Sugetsu making sure Showers is not an option. Angel, you can't be swinging that
It's
one,
almost
man.
repeaking it. They could have just been contacted up onto it. In fact, they are, man. Of course he's going to be falling there.
Jekyll and Hyde.
It's so silly.
3v4, the defensive side now going to be scrambling. Sugetsu forced to abandon the pit.
And Xiao to try and push them back here from the back of the site. Seekers not actually broken. Trailblazer on top of it as well. Flash round to the side. He's going to get stunned up here. No chance in hell. Ton of util coming his way. His team helping him out, though. There was a nade in response. That's from Zipan off to the side, but they have gained that ground all the way. And Xiao, he is on an island, essentially. Plant. It's tapped. Forcing out the response once more. Safe over the top here with a boom bot. He wins out the fight still. There's no time on the clock. Sugetsu dodging the flash. Round to the side. It's onto Yampy. He's got a hold and he misses it. The spike. It does go down. Extension into it, but it's a 1v1. Sugetsu versus Yampy. With the up. Held down. How does he win it? Jiggling it. Finds the shot anyway. It's Yampy who finally lands the important one.
These rounds are absolutely bonkers. Oh, I mean, we've lost all semblance of sanity here on Bind. All semblance of it. Just enormous hero plays coming out to be able to put teams in position to win. I love the idea from Xiao there, tucking towards the back of the site. But this is what gave Yampy the advantage early on. CNED went for a play like that. And Sugetsu did what he could. Sometimes this guy's aim is just ridiculous, but he couldn't land the final kill. Yampy there to open and to close for Team Liquid to get their first rifle round on Bind.
So far this series haven't been favoured with the gun rounds.
Not at all.
Where they've been failing. Maybe this is the turning point, though. Anything to clear this? Sugetsu playing it relatively safe. Jiggle with the knife. As soon as he hears a Trailblazer, yeah, instantly there. Doesn't opt to use a snake bite. There's a pull, there's a nade. He can't get out of there, just about.
Oh, the nade just too slow from Safe. A very nice idea otherwise from Team Liquid. These are the kind of little combo plays that they've been missing throughout the rest of the map that can really set them up for advantages and give them other options and ideas.
Just getting used now at a mid-round portion here. That's going to give Na'Vi lots of information. Points him in the right direction. Where are these players sitting still with 45 seconds left? They're broken.
Stacking 3 players on B.
I mean, it's slow to a crawl.
The spike is not over here. The spike is going towards short. It again seems a little uncoordinated from Team Liquid. I don't know what the end goal is here. Do they have to go through the teleporter?
I don't know, man.
They must.
Yeah, they do. They don't actually have Showers control when this is happening as well. They're going to have to clear that one themselves. Now they're starting to move forwards onto the site, but there's only, again, 17 seconds left. Plenty of opportunities to try and deny. Still, it's safe. Showstopper there. Ducking and juking away from it here, giving all that space up. 4v5 with the pit layered down. This one should be a slam dunk for Team Liquid, but should be, doesn't really play a part in this series so far.
Sugetsu's still looking for a lurk play all the way through B. He's very far away from being able to help in this retake. So I don't think Na'Vi are going to be contesting this one too heavily, just spamming into the pit and seeing if they can get rewarded with a freebie.
Praying, and well rewarded. There's the first one. The time is still ticking. They're going to need a bit more than that, and Shower's still not there. Solkas off to the corner here, not favoured with it. What is that? Adjustment. Flick to the side, and at this point, yeah, not enough time to make the play for this one. This is Team Liquid wrapping up the round. Evacuation through the TP. In a match here. Body's falling all over the bloody place.
That's a really nice idea for Sugetsu. I thought he was looking to try and collect a potential lurk play through B, but he's just attempting to play exits. They know that Team Liquid's economy is not in a particularly strong spot. You see there that Yampi's got a lot of money, but the rest of the team are feeling the pinch a little. What was this? That's a nasty flick. Soulcast will just occasionally, every now and then, pull out a shot that makes you realize he's got some talent there.
Yeah.
Team Liquid are going to be able to scrape together a buy, though, despite the fact that Na'Vi got a few exits. And a tactical timeout being called by Doom Bros. They used a lot of their Sky utility very early on in that round. Trailblazer was used at the 120 mark. They, about 50 seconds, used Seekers and I believe their final flash to get information. And they knew that the hit was coming towards A. Angel was in a position to potentially drop a planter that was scurrying into the site with only about 20 seconds left. Just couldn't land the shot and didn't have enough people there. But Angel's been calling really reactive, heavy stacks towards one site or another. They're trying to be extremely mobile with their defensive rotations.
Yeah.
But it lends a scattered feel to the map, where both teams are always in transit.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel purposeful on either side with the setups. I mean, understandable, I guess, you know. Players like Angel have talked about the amount of preparation they've had coming into this event. Hasn't been much. It's been non-stop for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Out of all the teams here.
They said they've had 4 days since LCQ, so no time to experiment with different compositions.
Which is probably why we're seeing...
Unless you're in the finals of LCQ.
The grand finals comp coming out here. Well, new beginning here, round 10. Smoke flashed through it. That was actually dodged, I think.
No, it must have popped inside the smoke.
Either that or...
Or what, Redgar flattened himself and got behind the fountain? Maybe it popped
I thought he used the recoil star, but I could be wrong.
Could have done.
No, he's got 4 on the map. It's impossible.
Yeah, there you go.
He would have had to break the game. Get old Astra in. No.
Yeah, so that flash giving pretty bad information there, but same
Both
case
sides.
over at this side.
Yeah, both sides.
Now the recoil star, though, I think is trying to aim for very specific information, see if someone's tucked in the corner.
I wouldn't able to play off of it, though.
No, both teams just poking and prodding for the first 50 seconds of the round. Not really able to make headway in any direction. Showers and B-Long still controlled by the defending side. Team Liquid, what's the plan? Once more, Redgar asks questions of, how do you lead your team to victory with 40 seconds left? It just looks like they've got nothing.
Flash. Oh, it's baited the rotation. See, it's out of there. Nothing spotted in Hookah with 30 seconds left. Time's running so damn short here. Shao doesn't have another one to get any sort of info here. Double satchel into the back. Shao not expecting it. Beautiful. Lovely from safe, but still Angel's here. Tucked to the corner. Smoke at his back. Tries to go for a second peek of it, but Yampi shuts that one all the way down. Seconds to spare with the plan going down. Still that player advantage. Here for Liquid. Spam. Through the box, Yampi. Chunk down. Just 50 health, but all he needs to do is land the shot, but it goes wide. Everybody getting out of there, playing off the side. Onto the long angle here. Na'Vi now. Into the side itself. There's a pull. Onto the smoke. Nade as well for the first layers of this one. Waves of the utility, but it might start to get rough here. Tap onto it, trying to force it out. Heal online as well. Is this the time for it? Seems like it, but Sugetsu's already taken up that space. Backing away safe. A wide swing, but he's traded and brought down. Nevertheless, half on the defuse. Time has been bought, but it's up to CNED, and he cannot land the shots. It was all over the place. Panicky.
But a nice post-plan positioning there from Team Liquid to make sure that that one was secured. A little fake flash as well from Soulcast. Helped Safe get positioning back into Hookah and win that duel. Ended up being incredibly important. I'm not confident in terms of the way that Team Liquid ended up approaching the site. They didn't know what threats were in Hookah. Angel wasn't cleared over towards Long. But once they actually got there, the fake utility being thrown onto A had pulled 3 of the players and allowed them to hit a soft B site. Both of these teams in the first halves of these maps could not find the difference between them.
Op for op, tour de force. Will it make a difference? The angle opens it up. It's Yampi to capitalize.
Throws down his trademark as well, which makes it very difficult for Zipan to try and recontest this area, only with a Guardian. So 2 and 2, the defense spreads.
It makes it difficult. Angel holding close there with a one and done position. don't have control of B long. Have to just assume nobody's pushed up onto it and taking the timing.
These are the spots in the round where you feel like Angel gets excited to go and grab some information, see if he can take a fight. He's positioned really far forwards over towards Hookah. Here's the Boombot coming towards him. Mouth salivating perhaps, but everybody on Team Liquid going over towards short.
Yeah.
It has pulled the rotation though. Redgar's doing one thing very, very well, and it's throwing fake utility on the opposite site. That's what created a weak B site in round 10, and they've done it again here creating weaknesses on A.
Yeah, cracked open the timing for it. Good orbital strike though, that's going to split up this push to the A side here. Safe alone onto the angle, but still with that tour de force in the hands of Yampi. Is watching it all the way from Shower. So gets too close to the corner. Angel brought down. Beautiful. I love that adjustment. Bit of spam just trying to bait out the shots here. Leaving it just down to Shao. Can't do a lot there. Really clean.
Clean stuff in round 11 from Liquid. The approach now getting really refined. That's 4 rounds in a row that they've been able to put on the board there. With a timeout too. Having a very nice adjustment. All of the fake utility that's being thrown on the opposite side to where they're hitting is pulling rotations away, creating space for Yampi to get set up, and then they're double swinging, triple facing. The discipline that Emil was talking about being showcased here.
We're back into the round already. Flash deep through. That's just spam into it. Not letting Angel get away with it. Final round here of this first half. It forces CNET to make the first move, doesn't it? Something to even it out, but all it results in is a 3v5.
And things have fallen to pieces here for Na'Vi. They cannot figure out this slower pace from Team Liquid. The information gathering just not available to them. CNET not finding his opportunities to thrive on Neon. And they're getting picked to pieces. They're just going for a gamble stack here. There's still a minute on the clock. I mean, Redgar has called a complete and utter halt in this round.
Trying to put the audience to sleep.
But for Na'Vi, this is just going to be torturous. You're begging them to push down short at this point. Hoping, pleading that they commit to A. Instead, Team Liquid themselves haven't decided which side to finish on. Now it looks like grouping up, taking the spike, ending B. There's nobody home.
Yeah, Trailblazer didn't see much. Neither does the Flash. There it is, the impetus to try and take this one here, but Na'Vi fully grouped up, still aware that somebody could be lurking. We know that the site is completely clear. Of course, Team Liquid still going to be doing their best to stop that one, and that was what they were trying to catch. Na'Vi.
No need for Yampi to be making a play like that when they've got the B side completely for free, and there's been no resistance. You've got to anticipate a heavier stack over towards A, and now potentially Sugetsu coming around behind on a faster timing. If he can win a duel in Hookah against Redgar, maybe there's still a chance here for Na'Vi where there shouldn't have been any.
Maybe a chance. Dog clearance into Alba. I don't believe it can see up onto the top angle. Sugetsu loses his fight still. It's a scramble, and it's not good enough. Not for Na'Vi, but for Team Liquid, they'll be happy with this lead. 2 rounds ahead now, ending this first half, 7-5.
Looked like it was going to be another disaster there for Liquid after they won the pistol and lost a series of rounds in a row, but a major recovery. A question really for me is, Brent, what is this Raze Neon composition going to look like on the attack side? I've got no idea.
Absolutely. Let's send it down to the desk to hopefully explain it.
Thank you so much for that, fellas. And yeah, I mean, look, I think going into this, there was a lot of, it was obviously going to be back and forth through and through. But what was impressive was seeing the way that Liquid able to restabilize, getting ready for this next half. But, you know, you also got to give your flowers to Na'Vi, too. This game has been very close, very competitive between the two.
Yeah, it was a massive recovery by TL, 5 rounds in a row to close that half. But it was the retakes from this strange double duelist comp for Na'Vi that were so impressive early on, because they were playing them in an interesting way. You have to be super proactive with this composition. So we're going for a lot of these multi-reflanks, trying to put a lot of pressure onto the chamber player of Yampi, and it was working out so well for them early on.
Yeah, and this round right here, like you're mentioning, CNET's stuns are so good. It singles out Nats. He can't peek into them. Allows the double flank to come in. And on other rounds in the half, Angel was the one aggressing out of Hookah, getting the information. That allowed a mass rotate to come into A. I was super impressed with how proactive Na'Vi was throughout, you know, the middle parts of this first half. But once Liquid solved them, once they got their feet under them and started to understand how this comp was playing, man, they were lights out from that moment on.
And this really was the story of the IGLs. I think it started off with Angel calling these great retakes that they kept on winning. And it was also him performing so well, but it was Redgar turning down that pace, playing these super slow mid-rounds, letting that clock dwindle to 20 seconds or something like that pretty much every time.
Yeah, the pace was nuts.
Yeah, and investing really good fake utility on the other side in every one of those rounds meant that Na'Vi didn't know what to do, despite having this comp that's so good for fast defensive rotation with that Neon. It never felt like they were able to be in the right place.
Yeah, I respect the idea from Redgar to slow things down because they didn't really have the stall potential there on Na'Vi running this double duelist comp, and they kind of relied on CNET to rotate around and have stuns ready for the site hits, and Liquid ended up solving that later on, like I said, and they were playing those rounds so well. But now going into this next half, this is where I think Yampi can truly become activated.
All right, well, let's see how this all pans out as we get ready for the second half. Send it over to Brendan Sideshow.
Thank you very much, GB. Yeah. How will this one pan out? It's been quite streaky, as the desk have been noting. The adjustments were there from Team Liquid, getting their 5 rounds in a row to make it 7-5, and yeah, couldn't escape it. Couldn't escape it, John.
But caused by a player. That's always a good sign. I mean, 5 in a row on one side and 5 in a row on the other speaks to adjustments and the ability to be able to find an answer and then not really continue to evolve from the way that Na'Vi were playing, I think. But I would expect the tempo to be very different on this side. Na'Vi are usually a slower paced team out of all of the teams that we have here. But in terms of the composition that they're currently using, the Neon Rays should be finding opportunities to explode into sites. You should be able to find moments for Angel to call these fast pops after they gain some level of map control.
In theory, yeah, the tools are there. Always a fan if CNED and Zipan are the ones leading the charge here for them, but
yeah,
see if they can handle it.
Yampi has a shorty and 2 bullets in his headhunter.
Yeah, 2 bullets left. Standing, it's just pure contact plays. Skip and hopping towards the side, getting back to safety. Meanwhile, push from CNED close and personal here. It's Yampi. He's baiting it with the headhunter. Fired off one of his shots and he still doesn't win it out.
Oh, that's a ridiculous shot to hit from CNED. It's a great idea from Yampi there. He played that situation perfectly, and the whole of Team Liquid's aggression into sand pulls people into Yampi for him to make the play and get the kill. But it's equalized at 4v4.
Yeah, 4v4, and they don't have control of showers. So Trailblazer got all of that just to clear that space out and regain it, but it has granted a ton of time here for Team Liquid. They've already got the entirety of their team towards the back of the side. If this is red, if they try and take a bit of a TP pivot, could be brutal for them. They just choose to take the timing anyway into the back of the site. Fights are taken. Not even that much util really to supplement it, but they win them out.
Liquid chose to try and get a retake happening there before the spike had even been ferried down short. Trying to push off the back of the Trailblazer. Soulcast left with 6 health. An impossibility here, I think, for him. And Na'Vi looking down the end of their first pistol round of this match. First pistol round of Champions for Na'Vi to collect.
Big news for them, get the ball rolling.
It's been such a major issue for them this year. I think they only win something like 44% of their pistols.
Yeah, it's kind of egregious.
Just off the top of my head, they're not a team that's been able to get good starts into maps very often.
Util, it is all over the place. Nice little finish there to the pistol, but yeah, inevitable for Na'Vi. So 6-7. Like I said, get the ball rolling now. Economy flourishing. We'll see what kind of buy they opt into. Classic FPX buy. I can see it, you guys can't. Spoilers, but yeah, 2 ghosts, 3 rifles.
And speaking of the ghost, I mean, what a shot that is. If CNED's able to start entrying effectively, and remember, he wasn't really given a chance on the first map that we saw. He's playing Killjoy on Fracture. So if he's able to get rolling and find those picks for his team, that could make the difference for Na'Vi. Liquid though making a gambit down short.
Flash connects, gives them info, but not solid info. It's not concrete. I don't know how many players are sat waiting there. It is a crossfire though. How much can Sagetsu really do here? When does the fight get taken? Safe, nade, rebounding, almost a hard read in terms of it. Flash over to the side here. Xiao is out in the open, and that's a rifle. Drop down to the floor.
That's one that Team Liquid are going to be able to recover very quickly, and they pass it immediately to Nats. who has been their best player, I think, in terms of his performance in this match. Yampy doesn't have any contact just yet off his trademark that's in hookah. So Navi's kind of fake noise and pressure in that area doesn't really net them too much. Team Liquid can still keep 3 players A. They got the read again.
They got Nats taking that contact with the rifle. He was holding for the higher position, the higher swing. He wants to have another go of it, and of course, he is feeling it! Nats breaks them down.
What a player to pick up the hero rifle. He's just been immaculate today. Every fight he takes is magic, pouring from his fingertips. Angel's going to give it another go. Distraction from safe to set up Nats, who's ready to swing again. This round has gone to pot.
Yeah.
Na'Vi, they could not find a pistol round win at all. Finally get one here in the second half of the second map, and it's taken away from them. The rug pulled out from underneath them instantly.
I love the proactivity from Team Liquid, though, at the beginning of this to set it up. I think the call in the middle there to rebound the nade, it's a common position that Viper players like to play.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to play a slow default.
And I
Good
mean,
chance of getting value, and they did.
This time catches Xiao, right?
Yeah.
He's just playing in that spot, trying to stop some short pressure. But the problem with playing on top of that cubby is that, I mean, if you want to swing, you have to drop, so you're inaccurate. And then also, you're kind of stuck if people use utility like that, separated from the rest of the squad. So, not particularly a fan of the positioning, and Team Liquid punished really well. All of the momentum in Team Liquid's hands now.
No investment still from Yampy, of course, probably saving for the operator here. Flash with the connection. Information for Soulcast. That's the nade going, flying straight into them, hoping to take that clean fight, but well, Soulcast. Beautiful strafing.
Zipan was on fire at the start of this map. It felt like he could do no wrong in terms of the first fight, apart from that very beginning on the pistol, but he's cooled off quite a lot while Team Liquid were on their heater. And here, being set up for a duel, and Soulcast comes out on top. Those are the kind of fights that Na'Vi are looking for.
Down to the minute mark. Still a 4v5. Going to be walking right into the sight line. Can Yampy deliver shot? Not quite landing. Gets the information though. Backs away to safety. Ooh. Give him a haircut. At this point, quite obvious where Na'Vi all grouped up. A lot of noise being made. Trailblazer used, flash over the top. Not too much house though, no opportunities granted. 25 seconds left, what is the call? It just feels so lost.
I mean, both of these teams, both leaders, finding it very difficult to get into sight.
Because again, it's just obvious, you've made so much noise. Fast lane though, cuts up the side, and they are straight in there. All the way, it's those Na'Vi fundamentals, the bread and butter of what still makes them a dangerous team.
The fast lane too from CNED, just allowing him to be able to find that opener and drawing eyes away from the people that were aiming to defend hookah. I mean, flooding out from hookah in that kind of situation is almost always going to be supremely difficult. Na'Vi made it look elegant. Still in the 3v2, there are chances for Nats to work magic again.
Certainly, but he's got so much to clear. Snake bite.
Player standing.
Not landing in the right spot, really, to try and clear him out. That fakes though, tucked to the corner. Redcar, decent go of things, but that is Na'Vi. Really felt like they should not have been favored in that situation, that scenario. But again, I feel like I'm repeating myself.
Not at all. Take a look at the replay here. This is what I like. The fast lane is able to find something, and they flood out of the smoke, both in opposite directions. Great play from Angel and Xiao there. By popping out of the smoke, one to the left and one to the right, it makes it much more difficult for the defenders to be able to accurately track where you're going and spray both of you down. Really well done, and instantly answered the economy that was going in the opposite direction. All was in Team Liquid's favor, and now they're broke.
What that money that Yampy was saving. Nah, not a chance. He's got a TP tucked behind him, so there was always the potential to get out of there.
And he was going for it. Halfway through the animation, gets his head ripped off.
Yeah.
And they are frequently leaving Yampy with just, you know, a gun and a trademark to cover a lot of the map. So if Yampy's not winning those opening duels, it's going to be difficult for Team Liquid, and they're going to have to scramble, go for rotates like they are now, This one, a bit more of a gamble. They're on an eco round. And Na'Vi slow things down. Angel, though, in a dangerous position here.
Potential here. Maybe donation of a rifle. No way in hell.
They're expecting him to be on a more standard angle there. The off angle just works perfectly. Safe takes a peek down short.
Yeah,
Killed in response.
traded here. Over the top, though. Natus is there. What?
There's no way!
My man is breaking the physics of the game with that.
What on earth was that shot?
Disgusting. And a chance now.
30 seconds left.
It's a 1v2. He's got the rifle in his hands.
He cannot be allowed to do this.
I'll wake you up, won't it? Stuns, missing, not connecting. Nade enough, though, to push him out of that position.
Toxin screen down.
That's forwards. A lot to clear here. It really is an impossible scenario.
This would be a legendary 1v4 if he was able to pull it off.
He's got to force the fight. Tap of the spike will isolate one of them. Look at the positioning here. There's no swing really from it, and yet the angle's so wide, it was unexpected. Here's the pit. It's online. 1 kill earned. CNED. He shuts it down. That was getting scary.
And CNED takes it from legend into myth. The clutch that could have been. I've got to see a replay of that shot with the Guardian.
Yeah, show me again.
I swear he was in midair.
There's no way. There's just no way, man.
He's just being blessed.
There's no way. This is on the run and gun patch as well, by the way. Look at that.
Same reaction.
Yeah.
Same reaction.
Yeah.
Unfortunate scenes, though, for Team Liquid. Nats did everything he could. That was an eco, though. They have rifles this time. CNED is looking to play with only his ultimate. Otherwise, just a shorty in hand.
Needs to pick the right time as well to let that one loose.
He's got enough money to be able to buy a rifle. He's just chosen not to.
Fast lane, stuns there. Combined all the way up with the Sky utility. That gains them the sight. Team Liquid forced to the back of the halls. Yeah, this overdrive will start to fade here. Already half on the duration.
Yeah, and this is a massive problem for CNED. I mean, unless he tucks himself inside a smoke and gets a kill with a shorty, Safe is going to be coming back in with a showstopper very quickly for this retake.
Tap with the spike. It's forcing out all this util. That was the goal of Na'Vi here. Team Liquid are fully grouped up. Here's the Trailblazer now on their side, seeking to try and claim some space. And with the showstopper, it will be made easy. No! It misses to the side. Zipan! An absolute menace! Oh, from the jaws of defeat, he had to hit that. CNED close and personal. Value is there. And Yampi forced to scurry. He hits the shot. He brings him down, but it's a 2v4.
One enemy remaining.
In such small moments, the differences are made. I mean, Safe is going to be kicking himself for missing that showstopper. It was their major tool at being able to get back in. And now Yampi is just getting hunted down.
Yeah.
They want this operator out of his hands.
Squeezed in the spawn. They want to take that gun away, and they do. Na'Vi. Where do they pull it from? I mean, we've been bigging up Zipan at various points of this series, but it feels so good to see him back on the Rays. I'm not going to lie. It's just a comfort role for him. In that instance, it wasn't even utility that he's using. He's sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard for them, but, I mean, just look at that.
I mean, to be honest, is that really what Zipan does, or is that just Safe? Just not taking a moment to appreciate that he's tucked himself into the corner? Those are the kind of rounds that make you curse the Rays ultimate.
Yeah. I've seen worse.
Definitely.
I've seen worse, I'll tell you now.
But what a pinch this puts on Team Liquid. A real credit crunch for them. They're in a spot where they could have potentially tried to go for a force-up, but it's a horrible, horrible economic state that they find themselves in.
Keep counting the roses. End of this tournament, it will just be an entirely filled up board. Don't have any more space, probably. At least until Kesnan starts playing. But here we go.
Na'Vi are in a great spot here, Brent.
They are.
They have a Brim ult and a Raze ult to be able to work with. Both fantastic offensive tools. Team Liquid have given them a timeout here to discuss what they want to do with their ultimates. And this one should be a bit of a gimme. Liquid have been phenomenal on their eco rounds throughout their run during the regular season of EMEA, but most of that was powered by having, you know, a couple of weapons here or there. Safe's going to go for a Guardian. Okay, so there's Guardian, maybe a Stinger. They're still figuring out what they want to go for. Safe, Yampi, and Nats are going to be asked to do a lot here if they want to be able to win this eco round. Otherwise, Na'Vi may have just run away with things in crucial moments here on Bind.
No tag with the flash. That's still there. Fast lane's used. Cause him to use that snakebite. The pull is really quite nice and damage enough for the kill. There is that follow-up though. Seen it all the way through into the site there. Save. Reactions, flicks and adjustments. Opening wide. Orbital strike. It is a scramble and it is messy.
Safe's doing it though. He's finally taken down.
Absolutely. He's made it just that much more winnable. Still Sugetsu. He's left it into that 1v2. Spike. It is in his hands. Doesn't have the hard job of retrieving it now, but my God. Messy beginning for Na'Vi. Team Liquid, another lifeline, another chance. Player advantage, guns aplenty. They can pick it up and gain those upgrades. Sugetsu is going to have to put on a masterclass in terms of how he plays this.
But he did hear both of them going through the teleporter, so he knows that spawn is safe.
Gives him info. Flash to the back. Does he take the timing? The flash didn't lock on. He hears the jump out. It fades away. Force it to the 1v1. And Sugetsu with the breakthrough.
He shouldn't have been asked to do it. Na'Vi put themselves in a difficult position, but he's always good for it. Sugetsu with 2 incredibly clean kills there towards the end, and a masterful decision to push through the smoke based on the drop. That audio cue gave him everything. Phenomenal crosshair placement. And look at that heartbreak on Emil's face. Na'Vi get up to 10. More difficult than I expected, but 2-round lead with ults in play. It's theirs to lose at this point.
Yampi.
Oh my.
Your TP is stuck there, son. There's no getting out of that spot. Still, Showstopper again the pull. Latching away and pushing them all the way back here, Zipan. Not much left with the fuse. Threading the needle with it, and still coverage is there from the rest of his team. They do not have showers control. No, Yampi's still there, seeking to try and pivot. Break away here, safe. He's holding down the angle, locking down the line of sight, bringing down 2. Eventually going down, but maybe he's done enough. It's 3 versus 3.
And they were delayed getting into B here, so there might still be some doubts in Navi's head. No, instead, Shao connects with the rest of his squad. It's Solcas in a position to potentially make the difference here.
Pit on lineup, used right into the spawn, cuts it up.
And Solcas doesn't go for the play. Just holds passively onto elbow, waiting for the rest of his squad. Perhaps a hero move may have been needed in that kind of position. A retake into a pit is going to be so difficult, especially with Yampi's op.
Just how do you win it out? Almost impossible, but
Great
that flash is really good. It pushes them deeper into the pit, gets them onto the angles, has to be the push back in to re-clear! Sugetsu again! What is that adjustment? Stray bullet finding it, and Solcas last alive, not for much longer, 11-8.
Solcas has just been a monster in these last couple of rounds. We saw 5 rounds in a row from Na'Vi in the first quarter, answered by 5 in a row from Liquid, to keep things somewhat even heading into the halftime. Now another 5 in a row from Na'Vi as they put the squeeze in this attack.
Oh, God!
The way Sugetsu is winning this.
Could barely believe it himself.
It's unbelievable. It really is. He's pulling out quality performances. And this, only the first game of Champions. Safe's been a bit of a hero, though, for Team Liquid. He's made these rounds winnable when otherwise they may not have been. And now he has his showstopper online. Miles away from the action, though, as Na'Vi look like they want to be taking Shao's control and potentially pivoting into an A split.
Flash is
the duelists
nice.
now grouping up.
Yeah. No, the Showers is occupied. Taking a fight anyway. Angel. Again, classic play. Redgar.
The timing.
Plenty of moments here. That is fantastic. Taking his time with it. Nat's holding it down. No one gets past the choke point. Not with his watchful eye. And this has stunted it, hasn't it? The entirety of the round. What a time for Redgar to make a play like that.
Enemy remaining.
The timing could not have been more perfect. And the one tap, delightfully accurate there to take out the hero. What can Zipan do?
Not
30
much.
seconds
26 health. No real time. Spike out in the open. All Team Liquid need to do is face it together. No noise cues though. Zipan doesn't want to give them anything. The information, but there it is. Top of bench, always favored.
I need a stop.
And Safe not even required to use the showstopper. And both of the IGLs having major performances in that round, but Redguard just doing one better. Angel swings out and gets the opener, and Redguard timing on the Trailblazer. Knows exactly where to pre-aim to get showered, despite it being through a smoke.
Nice! Nice, Egan!
Massive plays. That was what was necessary. Forces Na'Vi to take the timeout.
Things now getting very tense. The decider, if we do end up going there, is Split. A map where I really feel, again, there are chances for either team to be able to win. You were saying earlier, every time these teams have faced, it's been decided by the slimmest of margins.
Oh, yeah.
So one big play, one moment, one shutdown of a clutch, a hero play like that from Redguard, an individual hit in form, these can all make enormous differences to the outcome of a match like this. It's Na'Vi's timeout, but Team Liquid still need to dig deep. They're 2 rounds behind, and they've only just broken that streak.
Been fully almost on the attack side here for Na'Vi. Brunt of all the rounds that they've been gathering up. Interesting time for the timeout as well. I mean, like you said, it does offer Team Liquid a chance to talk about how they might come back into this one when they've got ults of their own.
And you've also got to think, is that replicable? The way that Team Liquid won that defensive round? Is Redguard going to be able to make a play through a smoke every time and timing a Trailblazer? Not really.
No.
Can you find other ways of being able to stop them? Have you noticed a theme to what Na'Vi are doing? If that's the case, we still may have plenty more to play with Bind.
Slimy drop down at the feet, gets them on the faster line towards Showers. Either side again, just hunting for that information. They did set Yampy up though.
And Safe, close to taking contact here. He can take a very thin line and fall off because he's still got the trademark there. But it looks like he wants to actually fight. Pull forced out early from Redguard. Previously, Zipan's been caught in that a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
This time they baited out.
It's been bogging them down. Do they want to try and play off that timing? Spotting the jump peak. Is it really just going to come down to, again, contact plays? Smoke's dropped down all the way through. There's a snake bite. The angle's watched. Redguard is closer to the corner as the smoke is propped up. No, the damage, not enough to bring him down.
8 health.
Redguard survives.
I thought he was going to try and get in off the Seekers there. He was at risk of being able to be caught by a shred of the spam.
And healed all the way back up here. There's
Na'Vi is still going
34
for
seconds. Yeah, they want to try and put the squeeze again. They know that Redguard is here, close to the corner. His team are bailing him out once more. Redguard playing inside the smokes. Team Liquid sail through. So it's fundamentals and Safe in the difference maker.
Safe really has stepped up. He's finding many crucial kills here that his team needs. Joining Nats towards the top of the scoreboard. That's an ambitious play, but it really just gets destroyed as soon as CNED has a snakebite caught onto him. The vulnerable, just too much, and Safe clears everybody else up. That's dropped Na'Vi down onto an eco round. And things now certainly as close as they could be between these two teams. We're likely to go 11-11.
Well, that parity between these two teams, yeah, it just feels so likely to go even.
I think one of the biggest issues for Na'Vi is that they're never really able to disrupt Yampy. And he is being allowed to maintain information on one side of the map, and they post Yampy up with a little bit of Soulcast utility. He has a trademark somewhere else, and then Soulcast goes and rotates, or Safe goes and rotates.
Yeah.
And they just leave Yampy either alone or with one other player, and it lets them stack a stronger side away from the chamber. They're not doing it just yet in this round, but as that guiding light finds no information towards Fountain, you're anticipating one of these players to rotate to A.
Maybe the rotations. Bursty play being set up though. This is Na'Vi fully grouped up, waiting for the orb to go down. I think that's going to be their timing that they take. Right behind it, close to the corner. That's Nats. Safe has rotated. He has the nade, has the showstopper, and that's Lines it up, just holding it. No way! Body blocked inside of it. The rocket goes flying past. Zipan will be brought down anyway. And Team Liquid, the ult's being invested. Redgar running them down. It's up to Angel. Doesn't have it in him. Doesn't have the rifle. What an investment by Na'Vi into a round where they really just didn't have the economical advantage.
I'm surprised that they went for it. They still have some way of being able to, you know, win this as it gets later. But I am surprised that they committed that Brim ult. I mean, is that a 2v4 at the point in which it actually gets invested? A bit bold from Angel. So very, very similar defensive setup here from Team Liquid. Yampi getting set up, B-Long with the Sky utility, trademarking Hookah, never been broken. And this time, though, the pit just adds that extra layer of defense.
And good luck getting through it, Yampi. Do you overstep yourself?
He's so deep. He's so open to this close corner.
Can he get out? Yeah, flash. Connects into his face.
It's
Dufu
bold.
was close enough to the corner. He could get out.
He's testing the limits, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't get punished this time, though, and keeps that trademark up. I think that's going to be crucial. It's going to allow Team Liquid, you know, 10, 15 seconds from now to rotate over to A if they need to reinforce. If Nats gets pressured at all.
Flash tags into Angel. That might tether a couple of players of Team Liquid over towards B. Feeling like they can rotate.
And look where the spike is heading. It's heading over towards short. Xiao with Seekers. You can follow these Seekers and have an attempt at getting rid of Nat.
Yeah. Angel was making a go of it to break the trademark to again throw in bit of that false information all the way through showers now. That's a fast lane to try and get them out of this. Nat still holding down into the pit. Who will meet him? Anybody to greet him? Doesn't look likely, does it? Just spamming, hoping for a random shot. And with all of that, the plan goes down towards the back of the site. It's been taken. They're squeezing Redgar into Lamps. Any util to set this up? Not quite, just taking the fight.
The Trailblazer missed Nats. They have no idea exactly where this Viper is. And Nats could remain the thorn in the side despite Team Liquid being a player down.
It's all about backstabs, isn't it? On every single front. Na'Vi, they don't really have control or an idea of where these players could be. Yampi creeping onto the side to get to. Shuts that one down. Nats has fallen on top of it. And just like that, it's flipped. The Na'Vi players are feeling it. It felt like every advantage in the world should have been there for Team Liquid. It's Na'Vi. They orchestrate something. I mean,
what a creative round for Angel to call, genuinely. I mean, using the Seekers deep there and taking space off of it, knowing that Nats is trapped inside of his pit and removing all the rest of his support. They get a plant in the back of sight, and they're surrounded on every front, and yet still manage to make that work. Take a look at some of these. I mean, the re-clear through Lamps is excellent. You could argue maybe Redgar should be trying to support Nats a little more heavily rather than isolate himself, but I think that's a really confusing round to react to if you're a defender there. You just don't see that in scrims or matches.
Yeah, you don't. That's an audible being called. And now it brings Na'Vi one step closer for the map, for the series, our opening match here. Champs 2023.
I think a lot of people had written Na'Vi off. Their run this year kind of peaked at lock-in with a 4th place. But they've been 4th place in the EMEA recently. Recently, refinding a bit of that form, footing, compositions looking good, and now they're 1 round away from advancing in the group of death.
Angel said it. It's not about the consistency. It's just about making it to the events. Peaking at the right time.
Smoke's down.
For Liquid, they want to put a stop to it.
I feel like an overtime is almost deserved in this one.
Yeah.
It's been so close between these teams.
Na'Vi attempting to keep these defensive players locked into A. That's what that flash was for, but as that Trailblazer, really good timing on that one.
I mean, must have seen at least 2, maybe even 3 players.
Yeah, didn't get broken in time, and they've still got Yampi locked up onto this line-of-sight angle. It's all given information.
Safe was thinking about rotating and has decided not to. Surely with that flash, though, the raise has to come over to B.
With the Trailblazer, no way. Where's the TP? Yampi? There's nothing to clear him into the corner here. Solkas being wrapped around, he's granted 2. Yampi's still just trying to survive here. Util not clearing him out. Showstopper into the corner, vacated all the way through to the backside of that TP. Time. No time. Almost denying it. That could have been it. But the smoke was watched for, and Zipan shuts down his adversary. It's 3 versus 3.
And elbow control for Shao and Sugetsu. A deadly duo for Na'Vi.
There's no util for Team Liquid.
No, they're in great positions here, Na'Vi, to be able to win this and close it out.
This should be it. Should be the finisher. Running through onto the site now, giving up control. Semblance of it, a tap onto it, not quite a tap, it's a full bloody stick. Nats half onto it with the smoke in his face, all the way through. That is ridiculous. For the overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Goodness me.
26 kills at the top of the scoreboard, and that is not the most important part of how he was able to make it work at all. Great smoke from Redcar, fantastic play from Nats. Just the balls to go for something like that.
Just icy.
If you end up getting caught going for a play like that, you're straight into elimination matches at Champions. Incredible stuff there. What tenacity from Liquid to keep fighting in those moments. They've won 4 out of the last 5 rounds for an excellent response. Pulling a retake out there with barely any utility. And we come into overtime. The side swap.
First round of it. Pop Flash played it, what a fight. This is Na'Vi taking the battle right to them. A skirmish outside, just beside Fountain. It's somehow a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, it was an amazing peek from CNED. He was playing towards Hookah as well. Swung on the player that was trying to support from Market. But he's calling the rotate now. 3 players over towards B. Seems a bit bizarre. I mean, CNED's all the way pushed down. He's just worried that they could be circling around, but instead Team Liquid are taking space.
And with this deep push, I mean, CNED's got so much ground here. He knows it's A. They're already on it. The call is made. I mean, yeah, exactly. They've given up space.
Spike planted.
But he's worried about running into a trademark at some point here. He doesn't know what we can see, that Yampi's used it deep on triple. So CNED is concerned that he might not even be able to flank properly. He takes the longest route around.
It's being watched for. Nats is aware.
Hyper aware.
Hyper aware. Doesn't win the fight. It's CNED who rips it away. Skipping around and to the side. Information granted and given. Soulcast is so uncomfortable, he's antsy. And they all topple. They all fall.
What a way for Na'Vi to just shepherd Team Liquid into a round win. All off the back of Na'Vi setting the tempo early on. They put the squeeze, flash out into Fountain, swing from Hookah, and then CNED winning the fight and giving so much information. I mean, Zipan's just perfectly set up for the duel. I feel devastated for Nats there, though. He's done everything he can for Liquid, and he just chose the worst time in the world to go for a strafe.
Yeah, the repositioner.
He looked like he was ready for it.
I mean, the passion from CNED here.
I don't think I've seen that from him
I don't think I've seen him this passionate. He's normally a quiet, reserved player, but you can see how much it means to them. They've had a rough season, but it matters not. All that matters is how you perform at the culmination. That final hurdle of champions.
Both duelists looking to try and take Hookah control here. Safe with a headshot through the wall early on. Has to give it.
A lot of damage backing away for the heal. Top back up to 100. Space is given, though, to them. And Na'Vi are fast on it, aren't they? They've already taken that Hookah control. Spike is there. Do they want to explode out into this? It's a heavy, heavy fight being taken by Liquid. Do they still want to try and control this one? I mean, the rendezvous is not ideal for Yampi if they did push themselves up onto that angle.
I mean, he's already used it, too. He was trying to contest over towards B long. They went for a little flashback out. They know that Yampi and Soulcast are still fighting around here.
And they're pushing
Angel's
it.
going for it.
Yep, they're pushing it. Any util to clear this? No, not at all. Dinked through the wall. Shao dropped down to half HP.
And no reaction from CNED and Zipan.
Watch
they had
it
a
for
moment.
Battle of the Lurkers as well. Nats versus Sugetsu taking place on the other side of things. This is Team Liquid's chance to really grab control once more. Bring it even.
30 seconds left.
Another round of OT. Stay alive in the series.
Sugetsu doing work on the other side of the map.
He's brought down Redcar, but he doesn't anticipate Nats yet. Swinging from the sidelines.
Not ready yet.
With this 2v4, a tap onto it. Shao's just creating noise as well to try and anchor these plays. He's through the TP. Through short now, but there's no time. Zipan doesn't have health. Nats, he spotted his information. He's going to be noted here. Zipan lands that shot, but he has to stick this. And already Yampi's running onto the sideline. He lands it, bringing down Zipan. Doesn't let it get dicey.
Perfect timing from Yampi through the teleporter. An excellent play by Nats as well. Cleaning up Sugetsu and being able to turn there to deal with Xiao. Really nice anchoring of the A side. This is a battle between two teams that are separated by the slimmest of margins.
That's a championship winning call, bro.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but
there's a long way to go there, Safe.
It's the first stepping stone, so.
But I mean,
expected though, keeping the morale up.
Yeah, definitely. And building up whoever it was that made that mid-round for Team Liquid. 13-13.
Another round of overtime. Grant and Showers control.
I mean, look at that. Soulcast forced to use the guiding light just to check whether or not Na'Vi have taken full sand control. That deep smoke from Angel, he's already used 2 of his smokes, and we're only 20 seconds into the round. If Team Liquid recognize that, they can slow the pace down dramatically and be rewarded in a similar way to their comeback on Fracture.
Oh, Yampi falls. Toppled down, that is just sublime. Anticipating it. Players going to be crossing into that angle, still tucked onto the corner, stuns at the feet. Nats, he's dodging and juking and still gets out with a kill and the heal on top. So, back up to 100, but the player advantage remains for Na'Vi.
They have to be worried about somebody pushing here. You can see the way that Team Liquid are clearing these areas, trying to contact through, having weapons out ready for every corner. They're concerned that somebody from Na'Vi has gotten deep, and that means that this push is going to be slow. No running into the B site. 20 seconds. It will offer Xiao an opportunity to get his team up to match point again.
For Xiao to be that difference maker. He's got full util, but he doesn't want to reveal his position. He has to just try and bide the positioning, the time. He takes the duel that was turning around.
Oblivious.
Spike drop down, and that's in the corner. Cowering in fear, man. It's Na'Vi once more at the precipice.
Match point.
It feels like Na'Vi have been in the driving seat for the majority of this game. Team Liquid are going to take a tack timeout to alter the situation. But this is a very different story to what we've seen recently. It's Team Liquid who won in EMEA. Both of these teams we thought would be fighting for second place EMEA this year, and they've taken vastly different directions. I mean, for Liquid, they had an awful performance at Lock-In, peaked with that trophy that'll be a permanent reminder for them in their cabinet of how well they can perform when everyone's at their peak. And yet here, both of these teams split by a knife's edge, and yet Na'Vi in control. Looking like they might go 2-0 in a map pool that, honestly, I think either of these teams could win on any of the 3 maps that we were playing today, Fracture, Bind, and Split.
Seeing that manifest, man, just how close it is. I said earlier, that round differential, I believe it is, like, you know, at most 3 rounds this year between these 2 teams.
Yeah.
They don't blow each other out, man.
Again, think back to the press conference here, where Emil and Doom Bros are talking about how these tactical timeouts, they can tell when the other is going to call one, and they know what each other are thinking in their heads. So there's a tactical timeout called by Team Liquid. I believe we're about to go into a tactical timeout by Na'Vi. The identical twin brother coaches have called back-to-back timeouts exactly at the same time here, heading into round 28. Look at that.
Always awkward if you're calling a timeout at the same time at the opposition.
Yeah, you never like to.
Yeah, you said your piece in the first one.
Quite. Nobody needs 2 minutes. But this is just going to add so much more tension to the players. In spots like this, you feel like, okay, I've already said my piece. I want to get back into it. I want to get back into the action. I want to impose my will upon the game. And instead, you're forced to just sit there.
Feel like
exchanging pleasantries.
Yeah. But think about it. Yes, it's the beginning of champs, but still, right off the bat, your opening match is not one you want to lose. Instantly in hot water, going down to elimination. Once more, it's Na'Vi. Only having to take that 1 step forwards, 1 more round. They've been in this position. It feels like multiple times so far on this map.
I think one of the biggest things that Team Liquid have had in their favor on the defense side is Yampi's operator and trademark setups. This time trademark goes towards short. He's going to try and ob showers. That allows them to stack 3 players on B. Usually he's being supported by Sky utility.
Na'Vi are not using util to take showers here. They're just wide swinging. Yampi could absolutely get an opening pick. And they're doing it again. See how Yampi gets set up onto the line. He actually doesn't choose to take it, yeah.
Yeah, he's taking a very passive approach here with the operator. That might end up being a difference maker, or it could lure Angel into his death.
Holding, holding, holding. It comes down to this. Missing it. Just barely.
I don't know how. It looked good to me. And just the thinnest of margins.
With that, Na'Vi granted some information. They know now where the operator is.
And Yampi's forced to take a more passive line. So the info that he was able to get and the confidence that the rest of Team Liquid were able to place in him is diminished. This means Na'Vi are going to be able to get set up for an execute into these two players on A. They can finally hit the weak side of Team Liquid.
The pull's late. Zipan's already into the back of the site here. It's up to this gun duel that's about to be taken. Nats! Patience is played by him. Still lands that shot there. Snakebite to the back. Yampi repositioning now. Rendezvous. All the way back to safety now, and time is running so damn short. That's a lovely. The crossfire setup, and Nats brought down once more still. Reinforcements are there. We're saving to the back. Sugetsu, enough with the reset. We are going once more to another round of OT.
You're seeing the discipline on play here by Team Liquid. I mean, the way that Nats was supporting Yampi there is phenomenal. He's got that trigger discipline to wait as Zipan runs through the smoke, but also instantly swings to try and help Yampi, who's in his reload animation, and stop him from getting punished by CNED. Immaculate team play there from the two defenders on the A side, buying enough time for Safe to come in, and the cavalry arrived. What is it going to take for one of these two teams to get over the line?
Will we see that third map, or is it series done and dusted? A bit more left to play.
I got the spike.
So Cass notified there, that deep flash. And to be long, still that smoke in his face, and Team Liquid are grouped up here. 3-2 split potentially. Trying to force out that util. Oh, what a fight to be taken. I mean, Safe was right off the back of that one. CNED, I believe, on top of the box. Loses that duel. But instantly, it's Na'Vi once more. Plugging up the holes in the defense. They want to take the fights right to them, and they're winning them out. Doesn't matter. Somehow always finding the miracle moments in these rounds here. Close to the corner again, spam into a red car. He swings, good timing on it. Xiao, he's really being pressured now. He's feeling it, he can hear it, and he's dodging to the side, left and right.
I have the spike.
Leaves it to Yampi. 1v2. Surely Xiao's done the most. Still the rendezvous available, but Yampi is guessing. Where are these players? Not a clue. Peeks it. Not able to hit it.
The Na'Vi players can just pull magic out of everywhere. What is that from Xiao? And also Angel taking an uncomfortable duel over by Hookah, and he's able to find the flick shot that he needs. That duo coming up with the goods there. Take a look at the replay here. He answers instantly onto a player that had just got the first kill. And the way he dances around this box was just beautiful.
And look at the passion, man. Armrests off. Complete despair on the other side for Team Liquid.
CNED's going to pull out an operator here. Attack side op for the Neon. That's going to give them less options if he isn't able to find an opening duel. He's anticipating taking the op fight against Yampi here, who has decided to just opt into the Vandal.
He's fired off the shots, though. Now he's made it acutely aware that he's got the operator in his hands.
I think that's a really unusual way of playing. Perhaps he thought he'd been spotted anyway. But Team Liquid are going to be now aware of this. Looking perhaps to just play a little more cautiously. I do in general like the attack side op from CNED. I think it lends itself more into favoring the contact style that Angel likes to call, because it puts fear into the defenders. They don't want to info peek as much. It lets you contact through, as they're doing now in showers. It gives you free map control.
Rekar, he's in a one and done. He's got to get a bit more than that, though. Running forwards, his adjustments with it. Already gliding into the back, CNED. He's brought down. Towards the back, a triple here. This should be watertight seal when it comes to this site. Spike dropped down out. Xiao's picked up this operator, but can't find an open angle, can he? 2 versus 4 picks it up, running all the way through. And it's brought down once more, 15 to 15. How far are we going to go?
It's been Na'Vi with the opportunities every time, though, to close this one out. Team Liquid need a run of 2 even to set themselves up with that map point opportunity. But here you see the difficulty of actually getting into the site. CNED just running and diving through. Not really set up with any utility that they needed to break those crossfires and allow the entry to happen. Zipan is definitely struggling in that department. So cheeky idea with the operator, but it's not going to work to close things out for Na'Vi. When you get this deep, though, into overtime, you've got to go, I mean, beyond the strat book.
Yeah, conditioning goes out the window. You keep a rough outline of what the opposing team was doing at a given portion of the map. Na'Vi been doing this a lot. It's a dodge of the Sky Flash, and they tuck Angel deep onto this corner.
At some point, the way that Xiao and Angel have been playing is surely going to get overwhelmed. They've been pulling out miracles.
Will they clear it? Is it going to be the double face once more? Red guy's not set up. Yampi! He cannot respond, and still rock solid. A complete hold. And the fight's being isolated. It leaves it to Nats. But again, Spike out in the open. The crossfire setup. It's all there.
Maybe one day this B-hold will crumble for Na'Vi. Maybe one day Angel and Xiao won't be able to stand up, but it's not today. And that was just immaculate. Able to take the kills through the smokes as required. Na'Vi get up to another match point. 16-15. Neither team able to get across the line on their attack side.
I mean, look at that timeline.
It's just a sea of teal.
Will Na'Vi be able to do it? They've had so many chances for the series to advance in their groups against all expectations, all odds.
And if this keeps going, Na'Vi might be in a position to... If this keeps going, Na'Vi might be in a position to break their own record of the longest game we've ever had at a global tournament. The score in that one was 19-17. This just doesn't seem to show any signs of stopping.
Will Na'Vi break through? It's the big question. CNED, fast lane there, flash inside of it. No one can really play the marks towards it. Stuns. It's all being supplemented to try and get them into the side, but it's anyone's game, really. And it's a guessing game at that. Holding for these smokes, but this time, fully advantage for Na'Vi. It's going to be a miracle. And for the map, for the series, Team Liquid having to retake.
But it doesn't look like they're exactly conscious that Yampi could be posted up here. They're playing inside the tube, making sure that they're not open to hookah, but do they really know that Yampi's here?
Yampi, he wants an open sight line. He's got to know. And look at it, he's expecting almost a push coming through into the back of the site there. It's traded immediately. 2 versus 3, Xiao, he falls, Redgar. You're going to be the difference maker. Still the crossfire. Onto the B-long angle, a tap onto it, it's a smoke, you have to force it into the spam. Redgar sticking it, I don't believe he got half, it leaves it to Yampi, into the 1v1, and time. It's against him. Oh, the satchel half on it, pushed away, Zipan will shut it down, and Na'Vi move forward.
I think it's going to be the most unpredictable group that we have here at Champions Los Angeles. Group D, absolute titans, teams that have won tournaments before, going up, stacking off. This time, Team Liquid, despite the heroics of Nats and Save, end up getting taken down. Mimi was talking about it on the desk, how at some point this year, these two teams crossed paths. And what once was Na'Vi heading for the #1 and 2 spot within EMEA ended up in a bit of a decline, a bit of a slump, I think it's fair to say. But they have put themselves up in a great situation here in the first game of groups.
Of course, a round of applause here for Team Liquid. Played their hearts out. I mean, a knife's edge the entire time. You see the series go in either direction, but they will be playing now from the elimination side of their group.
And having to face off against the loser of DRX and Loud.
Not a fight you want to take, either way.
Certainly not. But I think both of these teams in pretty reasonable form. There were a lot of questions about where these two teams would end up being, what caliber of play they would bring to the game, and it was actually really quite impressive. I was particularly impressed with what Nats was bringing out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's send it down to the desk as well to break it all down.
Thank you so much for that, fellas. What a game we saw. 4 rounds separating Liquid and Na'Vi. That's how close this matchup was. Don't let the 2-0 confuse you there. Of course, Golden Boy here alongside with Mimi and Sean Garris as we look to jump into the action. And let's just go straight for our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, because you got to give your flowers to Sugetsu, man. This guy, Mimi, just pulled off. These shots were just absurd.
I mean, in this overtime, it was a battle of these two Viper players. Nats, this is his map, his moment where he's always stepping up, but Sugetsu mirrored that as well. And we had this question at the beginning of the day. Would Group D be the group of death, the group of disappointment? Which one of these teams would step up? And while there was some silliness, there were some mistakes made, I actually think both of these teams showed us really stronger form than I was expecting.
I couldn't agree more. I was really impressed with the form Na'Vi brought today in particular. I thought all of the players from Na'Vi had really key moments throughout this series. I loved CNET on the Neon. I think he had tons of impact.
Yeah, and they were cooking with this composition too. They had great ideas for the retakes on the defense. On their attacking side, well, they struggled a little bit more there. I think these slower rounds into these late B execs that were always so good for them was well put together. And Angel also, I mean, the guy's just rolling back the years. He's putting up ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, no, it gave me hope. It really did. And to be completely honest with you, like, you know, I don't think anyone really was coming out of LCQ. A lot of people were doubting Na'Vi, and for good reason, Sean, because, you know, there was just so many ups and downs with this team, and we weren't quite sure what we were going to get out of them. But to see the way that this Na'Vi squad has really put themselves together, it does feel like this is I don't want to say a different team, but this is a re-energized team.
Yeah, they are. And even re-energized is the perfect word. Watching CNET like scream like that, I think Josh and Brent even pointed it out. You know, I don't think I've ever seen CNET get that animated on the stage.
And the thing is, he's either calm, or in EMEA, we saw him like slamming his desk, getting mad, getting annoyed with what was going on for Na'Vi. This is the first time in quite a while where Na'Vi's really breaking their loss streak and finding themselves back in that form where they really can be a contender for top spots. I think it's especially impressive how well they were able to adapt, come up with new ideas late, particularly on that defensive side in overtime. It becomes a totally different game.
Yeah, but we do have to be a little concerned, though, about whether or not this is something that could end up being detrimental to them, right? Like, they're showing us some really fun ideas, some unique ideas. Could that be something that plays into it later on when they go deeper into the tournament? We got to see, like, what that, you know, what that Rolodex looks like of plays that they have.
I mean, these 2 rounds we're watching on the screen, these B hits with the Neon Wall, that is just all mid-rounding there from likely Angel. I mean, the Neon Wall blocks off the elbow player from the under hookah player from the backside player, and no one knows who's first contact in the crossfire anymore. It's just such good utility usage.
Yeah, I think they do have to work on some things. The attacking sides, I feel like some of those ideas got a little bit predictable. There was a lot of those kind of like 2-stage execs where they invested a lot their utility, and then we're trying to contact out in the late rounds. We still saw issues, but I think this is a really great foundation for Na'Vi to build off of. We know them as a team who tends to get better deeper into tournaments. Remember, they only won 1 pistol round today, got eco'd immediately after that. There's a lot of room for improvement that I think we could see throughout their run in this event.
Yeah, and if there's a team to do it, it would be, you know, Angel, Doom Bros,
I mean,
Na'Vi.
the experience. They've won tournaments before. They didn't have Sugetsu for half the time at Copenhagen when they made their run to win it. They're great in these long-form kind of tournaments.
Yeah, and there really is something to be said about a team that can thrive in a tournament environment, kind of like what we saw happen with Crew at LCQ, and also Na'Vi here, or Na'Vi in Copenhagen, rather, and then, you know, the season structure as well. It's very hard. It's a different type of game you're playing at times.
Yeah, you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to switch comps, which is what Na'Vi has shown they're capable of doing. Whether it's, you know, at a suboptimal level or not is kind of up to your interpretation. I think personally that they can flex on so many things bodes really well for them now that they won this opening game.
And again, for Liquid going down to that lower bracket, they had a lot of opportunities today that slipped away from them. And either of those teams, DRX or Loud, we don't know what form they'll be in yet, but they're at risk of another disappointing tournament here if they can't turn it around.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out about that in a little bit. But for now, though, let's actually send it over to Mitch Man. He's actually standing by with who you got over there, buddy. Sugetsu? Sick. He got Sugetsu for our Verizon post-match interview. Like the flow.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yes, I'm down here on the stage with Sugetsu after that incredible opening map here, or opening series. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, look, this is a really interesting game. Starting it out on Fracture, there were some changes that Liquid brought to the table. What did you make of these changes? Like, why do you think they decided to swap it up?
I mean, they probably watched our game when we were playing in the League, and they wanted to adapt to us, like somehow counter us, I don't know. Angel was laughing on their pick. They like basically didn't have Sentinel, so it's like it was easy for us, kinda, you can say, to play against. So
yeah, it's always going to be a downside. They took the risk. It didn't pay off this time around. And look, starting out map 2, Angel was on fire. He was playing like a different game, but it was later on that you really started to take the mantle on map 2. You were on fire on map 1 as well. How did you feel playing here in front of the US crowd?
I mean, it's first time experience, so I really like this. Thank you guys, thank you for cheering for Navi. Very appreciated.
Yeah, they were certainly cheering you guys on during all those plays. It was beautiful to see. Now look, Liquid are sent down to the lower brackets. They're going to have that lower bracket run. Do you feel like they're going to be successful after what you saw from them here today?
Yeah, definitely. I think they can beat the Rigs or Loud like easily. Like, yeah, I think we will go out from group like V and probably Liquid.
Okay. Well, talking about your next matchup, do you have any preference? Do you have any idea on which team you're going to be facing?
I really like how Aspas playing, so I want to really face Aspas. I respect him a lot. There's probably one Jet which I respect. Is just don't count CNET, of course. So I'm looking forward to our match against Loud and that's it.
Okay, feeling Loud for sure. And look, you obviously, that'll be an international matchup, but you're starting here on the stage against an EMEA team. Do you think that helps, like feeling like you're at home out here?
Honestly, yes. I feel more boring, like full, and it's like, when I saw Bracket, I saw Liquid, and it's like, again EMEA teams, why EMEA teams, always like, so, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, we have confidence to play against them, it's like, yeah. We played a lot against them.
Well, one guy that had a lot of confidence out there today was Nats, actually, on the other side. It almost looked like he was back in his prime form from back in the day, taking you guys down a couple of times from behind. Did you feel that on the server, that you were playing the Nats of old?
Yeah, I feel Nats was killing me all the time, like behind. I didn't face him almost, so I don't remember when I was 1v1 against him, I mean. But most of the time he was like killing us in behind. Kinda annoying when we were attacking on Lamp's position. They were delaying me and my team with Astra Utilities, with Nat Smoke, with Mollies, so it was kinda hard. On Fracture I didn't feel anything, but on Bind, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He was unleashed on Bind. Well, listen, I'll unleash you backstage, back to your team. Thank you so much for coming down here for the interview, and best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Toss it off to a break. We'll see you soon.
Calling all students. Compete in the ultimate VALORANT competition.
The Red Bull Campus Clutch.
Register now for your national qualifier.